You know, UNM, I believe, is the premier dental hygiene program in the United States. We not only have really good board scores and other outcome assessments and placement of all of our graduates are really the innovators in dental hygiene. They have companies, they practice in different settings, they start up school programs, they start up programs to go in and take care of people at home that can't travel. I can't even go on about everything that our graduates have done and are doing for not only dental hygiene, but for society as a whole. And it is because of Irene's initial passion for advancing dental hygiene so that New Mexicans can be healthier in general.
I was honored to meet with Irene just one time, but that was a lovely meeting, and it was at her home. It was in 2017, I believe, so at that time she was already in assisted living, and despite her mobility issues at that time, she was really very, very gracious. And one of the things that I remembered, and I'm sure that there are others who would remember this, is she pulled out a tin of Norwegian cookies and also offered a glass of wine, which I thought was very nice.
The neat thing about UNM and Irene's relationship is Irene actually helped start UNM's dental hygiene program. Monica Novitsky, who was a dental hygienist and dentist who was the founder of the program and worked with the New Mexico Dental Association to get funding for the initial start of the program, reached out to Irene. She knew Irene from dental meetings that she had been to in different states, and she knew that Irene taught and that Irene was active in really advancing dental hygiene. When Irene started in dental hygiene was a new profession. It's barely over 100 years old now. And so she not only was instrumental in starting the dental hygiene associations, but she was instrumental in starting clinical teaching. And so she came to us from California. Monica Novitsky recruited her to help start the program. So she was really in charge of the development of the clinical portion of the UNM dental hygiene program.
So one of the things that came from that meeting was that I saw this very, very generous spirit. And I think that that's evident in the way that the program has developed over the years. She was fun-loving, she was generous of spirit, and when you see some of the things that have occurred since she became involved and really developed the program, what I recognize in the alumni population is a lot of fun-loving and very dedicated people, but also people who are committed to one another. It's a great group, and you can see that the relationships that are created in that program last a lifetime.
So the one thing I think that separates Irene from a lot of dental hygienists is her leadership abilities. She really truly had a passion for advancing dental hygiene. She knew that dental hygiene could have a big impact on overall health, and she took it one step further. She mentored other hygienists, and she developed a cadre of dental hygiene leaders, because I think Irene knew that in order for dental hygiene to progress, it was going to take more than her influence and more than her generation. And she not only influenced leaders today, but she influenced them to influence the next generation. So that was Irene's impact on dental hygiene. And I want all of you who are graduating to remember her, because she's the reason we have advanced so much at UNM and in New Mexico. We're one of the, I think, the premier dental hygiene program, but we're also one of the states that has the best scope of practice for dental hygienists. We have hygienists working in a lot of different settings. We're really integrating dental hygiene into health systems, and we're doing stuff that a lot of other states are not doing. So, and a lot of that is the influence of Irene Navarre.
If it hadn't been for Irene, I would not have ever become a dental hygienist. I wouldn't be in it today. She sweetly inspired me not only to complete the patient, but also to continue working in dental hygiene for the last 50 plus years.
You know how in life when somebody likes to do something or they do it well, then they like to do it. That's how Irene was with her teaching and her mentoring of people. She liked to do it and she was really good at it. The world is a better place, New Mexico and Albuquerque. And if we had to give her a grade, that would be an A+.
So Sandy and I graduated from the same class in 1974. It was in an old World War II barracks where we went to school. And if you put your chair down too fast, you broke the wood in the floor, which we did.
It's like a family. The people who have been through the program clearly learned a great deal. They have a great deal of respect for the program itself and the instructors in it and for one another. So when they're interacting with one another, you could be at somebody's birthday party because you just see this warm spirit that clearly has been there since the beginning, because I've had the honor of meeting many of the earliest graduates, and that continues right up to this day.
I knew Irene since I moved here 25 years ago, but I would say in the last 5 to 10 years of her life, I visited her quite a bit, and I would bring different people. I would bring some dental hygienist, I would bring student dental hygienist, I would bring UNM faculty, I would bring dentist, and other people from UNM. And she always wanted to discuss how we could make UNM and dental hygiene better. You know, I think that for UNM, what Irene did is she started a stellar program and nobody wanted to disappoint her. So I think that the reason that we've grown so much as a program and that we're so really prestigious in the United States is because of Irene's initial seed.
An endowment is a permanent fund, and I think that's the most important thing to understand, and that's why we use endowments often in the world of fundraising and for organizations when we're trying to remember someone or something into perpetuity. So that's what an endowment fund does. When we create an endowment, the corpus of the money is never spent, so that main body of money always remains in a fund where it's invested very strategically and also conservatively. And then it's the proceeds from that fund that each year go to fund some sort of project. That's the same way that the current award that is given in Irene's name to a student every year operates. So that fund will last forever. This new fund will last forever as well.
That's interesting, you know, about how Irene saw her dream really be realized, which all of us want our dreams to be realized, right? And she was very grateful for it. That's what I remember about Irene, is she was grateful when we would go and visit with her because she would see UNM prospering and she would see dental hygiene advancing, and she was very grateful.
For me, it seems to be a continuation of her own generosity. She began giving to the school back in 1988. So at the same time she was giving of her time and her energy to build a great program, she was also giving monetarily. She continued that throughout her lifetime, and in fact ended recently with her ultimate gifts. We think of it that way. She made a very nice gift at the end of her life in her estate to continue to support this program, and we're going to use that for seed money.
You know, I'll never forget what she said. She said, "Don't stop fighting for dental hygiene because we're a young profession, Christine, and you need to keep soldering on, and remember, it's all about prevention. Don't lose sight, because that is dental hygiene."